Namaste everyone. Namaste Rinpoche.
大家好，仁波切好。
We would like to welcome you all and welcome our special guest Rinpoche to talk about the benefits of practicing the Tri Ratna Anusmṛiti Sādhanā in our daily lives.
我们非常欢迎大家加入今天晚上仁波切的开示。那仁波切将会跟我们分享如何把意念三宝的仪轨融合在我们的日常生活中。
I would like to thank Rinpoche for giving us his precious time.
我们非常感谢仁波切跟我们分享他珍贵的时间。
Please, Rinpoche.
Is this going to be translated?
Yes, Rinpoche, Bella is here.
Gosh. I've been trying to download that cat on my screen, but it didn't really work out.
我一直试着要下载那只猫到我的屏幕上，但是一直不成功。
Anyway, so nice to see all of you.
总之，很高兴见到大家。
I really can't get used to looking at my laptop and talking to people. It just doesn't seem to work for me. I don't know.
我就是一直没有办法习惯看着电脑跟人讲话，就是对我来说好像就是不太行得通，不知道为什么。
Hopefully this is not always going to be like this. Now that Russian Sputnik, is it Sputnik? Vaccine is out.
希望情况不会一直是这样的。现在既然已经有俄国的那个 Sputnik 那支疫苗出来了，
I'm very looking forward to the Sputnik, is it? Sputnik?
我非常期待那支疫苗。
If anyone knows how to make chemicals, they would be the best.
如果有任何人知道如何搞那些化学东西的话，俄国人会是最厉害的。
Anyway, I'm not going to go too far there, otherwise I'll be fried alive.
不过我最好不要在那方面讲太多，免得又会有人对我大肆抨击。
Okay. So, I'm just going through all the, gallery to look at all your, like living room, kitchens, and what kind of taste of your, like curtains you have, so on and so forth.
我只是在浏览所有的参与者的这些景象，看看大家的客厅是怎么样的，厨房是怎么样的，大家的品味如何，像是窗帘啊等等那些东西。
Okay. So I've been asked to give some sort of introduction or a summary of this this sadhana, recollecting the three jewels.
所以有人请我来就这部仪轨意念三宝的仪轨呢，给一个介绍，或者说是一个总结。
Even though the sutra itself, the recollecting the three jewels sutra, comes from the Mahayana, the term sadhana is actually a tantric term.
虽然说《意念三宝经》这部佛经它本身是来自于大乘，但是仪轨这个字眼呢，却是属于密乘的字眼。
And the actual, so yeah, so the sadhana, okay, so sadhana has a lot of tantric flavor. Let's put it this way.
所以可以说仪轨这个字眼呢，有很多密续的成分在里面。
Okay, sadhana, I guess you can translate this as, a technique to accomplish.
仪轨这个字眼呢，梵文 sadhana 呢，你可以把它翻译成为一种获得成就的技巧，或者说获得成就的法门。
So, yeah, so what is it that we are trying to accomplish here?
那我们这边想要成就的是什么呢？
We are trying to accomplish, I mean, in the most broader sense, we are trying to accomplish the Sanskrit word smriti. I think that's like a recollection.
那就最广泛的意义而言呢，我们试图要成就的是梵文的这个字 smriti， 意思就是意念。
But recollection is a sort of how should I put it? It's like watered down term.
但是意念这个字呢，其实是有点被稀释的一个字眼。
Because I think people like the word recollection much better than awareness.
因为我想大家更喜欢意念这样的词汇呢，胜于像是觉知、明觉这样的词汇。
Awareness is very big, very abstract, and it's like so colorless, so to speak.
觉知这样的词汇呢，它太过广大，太过于抽象，甚至可以说它是不是没有色彩丰富的。
But recollection, so sort of recollecting the ancient, I don't know, people in the past. I don't know, whenever we are talking about recollection, we are talking about something about the past.
而意念呢，我们意念某些过去的人呢，当我们讲到意念的时候，总是在讲过去的一些东西。
But actually, it's really, this sadhana is actually it's actually a so-called mindfulness practice. That's there's so many mindfulness thing going on. This is just mindfulness practice.
而这个仪轨呢，可以说它是一种正念的修持。大家知道有非常多正念的修持，这个也可以算是正念的一种修持。
But even the word mindfulness is such a I don't know, it has become diluted now. The word has become like a chai. the word Indian word chai. Chai used to have such a beautiful connotation. It has that train station, it has that connotation, it has that flavor of train station, the clay cup, sugar, and the thick, hot Indian tea. Now the word chai, there's so many chai, like soya bean chai. I just had one. Can you believe that? Soya bean chai.
但是正念这个字眼呢，也是非常被稀释的，就像是印度的那个茶菜这个字呢，它本来是非常美丽的一个字，它带有很多的意涵。你一讲到菜呢，你就会想到印度的火车站的那种感觉，他们是用那种陶瓦做的小杯，然后放很多的糖，然后喝一杯浓浓的印度的热茶。但是现在呢，菜这个字呢，就是在国外到处都可以见到。甚至还会有人做像是用豆浆做的 chai， 我才刚喝了一杯这种东西。
Just like 40 years ago when we were traveling in India, in the train, you hear this noise, you hear this, people running around, chai walas, shouting chai, 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 like that.
40多年前，当我们在印度火车站的时候呢，你就会听到有那个卖茶的人，就是会在那边吆喊着卖茶。
Yeah, now there's so many, Starbucks have chais.
但是现在呢，这个茶到处都是，连星巴克都有茶。
So the word mindfulness has become that.
那正念这个字呢，也变得像是那样。
It has become so diluted,
它变得是非常稀释的一个词汇。
So probably a slightly better is like word awareness, right?
可能相对而言情况还好一点的是像觉知这样的字眼。
So in the Tri Ratna, when we talk about the Sutra of Recollection of the three jewels, what is fundamentally what's happening is awareness of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha.
所以在像随念三宝经这部佛经当中，它最基本的是什么呢？它最基本的就是让你意念佛法僧。
Actually, it's really as simple as that.
它就这么简单，就是让你对佛法僧有所觉知。
Like I'm looking at a swimming pool at the moment, even though it's dark.
像现在呢，虽然天已经暗了，但是我正看着一个游泳池。
And I know, I'm aware that pool is wet.
那我有这个样的觉知，我知道那个游泳池是湿的。
And I don't want to go in there right now.
现在我并不想要走进那个游泳池里。
So we are talking about that level of awareness.
因为我们在讲的是那个层次的觉知。
So, like a Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, these three are not outside. Okay, let's just put it this way first.
那我们暂且可以这么说，佛法僧这三者呢，并不是外在的。
Dharma, for instance, okay, let's begin with the Dharma. Dharma is the truth.
让我们先从法开始说起，法就是真理，就是实相。
The truth of the matter is, even though Karma Jimpa is at the moment thinking, and he thinks that he's alive.
那事实是什么呢？事实就是说，像卡玛金巴这个人呢，虽然现在他觉得他是活着的。
The truth of the matter is he's dying.
但是真正的实相呢，真正的事实呢，是他正在死亡的过程中。
So he should really work hard on his harvest. He has a harvest, which I don't want to tell you anything right now, but he has a harvest.
OK， 所以因此呢，他真的应该要好好的努力工作，对于他的那个收获的方面，庄稼的收获呢，要去认真的去把它做掉。
I'm not stopping his harvest, his cultivation. I'm not stopping.
我并没有阻止他，让他不要去栽种作物。
It's a really lucrative cash crop.
那个作物呢是可以带来非常好现金收益的作物，
But I'm not stopping that.
所以我并没有要阻止他去做那个事情。
What I'm saying, what we are talking about is he must really remember or recollect or actually be aware that he's dying all the time.
但是我要说的是，他应该要记得，他应该要意念，或者说他应该要觉知，他一直都是处于正在迈向死亡的过程中。
And I mean, it's yeah. So there's many other facts, right? There's so many other facts. Things like, okay, so like at the moment I'm sitting on a massage chair.
当然还有很多其他的事实，比如说目前我就坐在一张按摩椅上面。
Yeah, it's in many ways it's good because you don't feel you're not obliged to anything.
那很多方面来说，这是一件好事，是一个好东西，因为你不需要一定要就是去做某些事情。
But you know, it's very strange because how long can I have my what do you call it? This sheen, is it sheen? What do you call it? This behind your, no, not sheen, leg, right? I'm the lower part of the leg. How long do you want it to be squeezed? Right? It squeezes. How long do you want it to be squeezed?
那但是呢，你也会要知道说，你不会一直都在那边。比如说你会想要自己的腿被揉捏多长的时间呢？
I mean, how long?
多长的时间
24 hours?
？24小时都在被捏吗？
7 days a week?
一周7天都这样做吗？
So what I'm talking about is no matter what we have, it's never really going to satisfy us, right? There's always a dissatisfaction.
所以我在说的是呢，无论我们拥有什么，我们永远都没有办法获得真正的满足，我们总是会有某种不满足感。
It's almost like massage is only good because it stops, it sort of inevitably it has to stop. That's why it's good, so to speak. You understand?
所以从某方面来说呢，几乎像是说，按摩它之所以会这么好呢，是因为它不可避免的在某个时间它必须会被停止，因此它才变得是一件很好的事情。
So, yeah, this behind all our satisfaction, there's always a dissatisfaction.
所以在我们种种的满足感之下呢，总是还有某种不满足感。
So yeah, there's a fundamental dissatisfaction.
所以我们会有这种根本上的一种不满足感。
These are the truths that we have to be aware of.
这个呢，就是我们必须要有所觉知的一个真理。
And yeah, so see, the thing is, if you are aware of these truths, what it does is it makes you smart. Basically, that's what happens. You become a smart.
那假如你能够觉知这些真理呢，它就会让你变得聪明，
You become cool.
你就会变得很酷，
You become, I don't know, savvy, you know.
你会变得很机智，
You become, I don't know, shrewd
Yeah.
to deal with your life.
你也会变得非常的伶俐， 对你整个生活呢都会是非常聪明的。
You become what the English called smart cookie. Yeah.
你会变成在英文中他们会说是一个 smart cookie，就是一个聪明的饼干那样的人。
You are always a step ahead.
你总是会领先一步的在做事情或想事情。
I don't know, somehow you are not a fool, basically. You are not a fool.
基本上呢，你就不再是一个傻子了。
Yeah, that's what is basically recollection of the Dharma.
所以这个呢，基本上就是意念法。
It's not like remembering some books, you know.
并不是只说你要去意念某些书。
So there's recollection of the Dharma, and then so now when we talk about the recollection of the Sangha, I mean Buddha.
所以刚刚讲了意念法，那现在我们来讲意念佛。
Of course, we recollect the guy who came 2,500 years ago.
当然，我们是在意念2500年前降临的那位人。
And you can recollect in many different ways, however you want.
你可以以不同的方式来意念他，无论你想要什么样的方式都可以。
There are a bunch of Mahayanas who think that he was like just some amazing sort of display of the wisdom body.
那有些大圣的人呢，会认为说他是某种智慧身的不可思议的显现。
And I'm sure there are a lot of Theravadan oriented who thinks that he was a normal human being, you know, which is so sweet. It's so great.
那当然也有上座部的人，他们会认为他只是一介凡夫，这事实上也是非常可爱、非常棒的一种想法。
He coughed.
他也会咳嗽。
He got really frustrated when there was all these mischiefs played by his cousin Devadatta.
当他的这个堂兄提婆达多做一些很恶作剧的事情的时候呢，他也会感到非常的有挫折感。
And I'm sure he got little bit uneasy when he was meeting Ajashastru, one of his sort of, later he became disciple, but I think he killed his own father, right? A very, very vicious king.
那我相信他在第一次见到阿加莎斯楚那位国王，就是他杀了自己父王的那个国王。当然最后这个人是变成佛的弟子了，但是初次见面的时候，我相信佛也是感觉挺不安适的。
And then there was, of course, there's this what? Then we recollect him in many ways.
然后我们会以不同的方式来意念他。
Those descendants of Alexander the Great people, they recollected him with curly hair, beautiful, all those Gandhara statues.
像是那些亚历山大的后裔呢，他们意念的佛的方式就是会建造很多那种美丽的犍陀罗佛像，这些佛像是带着非常美丽的卷发的。
Almost all the Buddhists seems to agree that he has curly hair.
几乎所有的佛教徒都同意说佛有着卷曲的头发。
Chinese seems to want to recollect him as a sort of chubbish kind of, almost to the fat side.
那中国人意念他的方式呢，是把他想成是稍微比较圆嘟嘟的，几乎接近肥胖这样子状态的一个形象。
And they have their reason, they must, during those days, the Chinese must have thought being chubby is like very majestic, very wholesome, very cuddly. I don't know, whatever they must have, and which is fine, which is great.
那当然他们肯定也有他们的原因的，或许在那些时候中国人认为说就是看起来胖嘟嘟的是比较庄严，比较圣贤，比较让人喜欢拥抱的这样子的一个形象，这也是非常没有关系的，那是很棒的一种做法。
Now the Chinese are reading too much of American Vogue magazines. They all like anorexic type.
那现在的中国人呢，他们读了太多美国的那个 Vogue 时尚杂志呢，于是他们现在都比较喜欢那种有厌食症的形象。
I'm sorry, that was too sarcastic.
抱歉，刚刚讲的可能太过于嘲讽了。
I'm in a strange mood today, by the way.
顺便跟大家说一声，我今天的心情是挺怪的。
Yeah. So basically, yeah, another common thing that we all seem to like to recollect the Buddha is very big chest. I mean, like broad shoulder. I don't know. I think he must have had that.
那还有一个就是，通常我们意念佛的时候，一个共通的形象是他有非常宽大的胸怀，就是他肩膀非常的宽。
Yeah.
所以他肯定是有那样的形象的。
By the way, he had blue eyes.
顺便跟大家说，他是蓝眼睛的。
I don't know whether the Tibetans and the Chinese and the Koreans and Japanese, whether they can chew this.
我不知道，就是西藏人、中国人、日本人、韩国人能不能接受这一点？
I think he was a Caucasian, you know.
像他是属于白种人的，
Aryan.
属于雅利安人的人种。
So blue eyes, beautiful blue eyes.
所以他有蓝眼睛，非常美丽的蓝眼。
Anyway, when we talk about recollecting the Buddha, it seems like we like to talk about recollecting a historical Buddha, which is great.
总之呢，当我们在谈意念佛的时候呢，我们经常都是在谈意念历史上的那位佛，这也是非常棒的事情。
You should all come. We are going to do this sadhana under the Bodhi tree very soon. So you should all come.
我们很快呢就会在菩提树下呢修这一部仪轨，你们大家都应该前来。
Karma Jimba will bring his harvest at that time.
卡玛金巴呢在那个时候呢会给大家带来他的作物。
I think he will make biscuit out of it.
我想他会用那些庄稼来做饼干。
Anyway, but are we just recollecting some historical, guy, No, not just that.
但是呢，我们就只是在意念历史上的那个人吗？并不是的，不只是那样。
So actually, more importantly, we are recollecting the innate Buddha, the Buddha within ourselves.
事实上，更重要的是，我们在意念的是我们内在的佛，那是我们内心具有的佛。
Of course, that's sort of unbelievable. It almost sounds like a poetic, like.
当然，这是挺让人难以置信的事情，听起来几乎像是很诗意的东西而已。
We all have the Buddha nature.
我们
It sounds like a prep talk, like some sort of encouragement talk.
我们大家都具有佛性，这听起来好像就只是一种鼓励人的话而已。
But actually, it is not. It's not really a prep talk.
但事实上，它并不真的只是一种鼓励人的话而已。
It's actually very, just like, the impermanence and the dukkha I was talking, it's really, we are really talking the raw, simple truth.
但是就像我之前谈到的无常和苦一样，它真的说大家都具有佛性，这事实上就是一个非常赤裸裸、非常简单的一种真理而已。
Yeah, of course, you are just like, you are packed with, like defilements and emotions and thick, I don't know, very murky, cloudy stuff, I'm sure.
当然呢，我很确定你是满载着种种的染垢、各种情绪、各种烦恼、各种非常浑浊的东西。
But the fact of the matter is, all your emotions, they skid.
但事实上是你所有的这些情绪烦恼呢，他们不断的都在滑落。
Just like how you skid in the muddy, surface, they all skid.
就像你在泥泞的地面上，你会打滑一样，这些烦恼也是不断的处于打滑的状态。
Of course, sometimes it feels like they skid with the greatest slow motion. So you feel like it's there all the time.
当然呢，有时候他们打滑的方式呢，像是以最慢速的方式在打滑，以至于让你觉得他们好像一直是在那里了。
But, they come and go.
但事实上，他们是来来去去的。
I mean, you are not angry, like fixed angry, like 24 hours. I mean, like you're not angry like more than like even few moments, actually. If you are, then you are not a human being. You are a machine, or you are some sort of a, inanimate thing.
比如说，你不可能是处于一直生气的状态，你并不是一个固定24小时都会一直生气的人。其实你的生气、怒气往往都只是很短暂的几个瞬间而已。假如你能够生气超出很多个瞬间的话，那基本上你就不是人了，你就是一个机器，或者是某种无情的生物。
Basically, no matter what kind of, emotions, defilements you have, they are all temporary.
基本上，不论你具有哪一种染垢或者是烦恼，它们全都只是暂时的。
And this really is probably the best thing that you can observe, and then really develop a conviction that your true nature is the Buddha, and remembering, recollecting, and being aware of that is the purpose of this sadhana.
基本上，你能够观察的最好的一件事情呢，就是说，这一切都只是暂时的，因此你就能够深信，并且发现说你自己的本性就是佛。那对于这个真理呢，来意念，来有所觉知，一直记得它，这个就是这个意念三宝这个仪轨它的目的。
Okay, the Sangha.
接下来讲僧的部分。
Now that Sangha is remembering the Sangha can mean a lot of things.
意念僧呢，可以有很多的含义。
It can mean, recollecting the disciples or those who have followed the Buddha.
他们可以指意念那些追随佛陀的他的弟子们。
Like Shariputra, Ananda, Subhuti, all of those guys.
比如说意念舍利佛、阿难尊者、须菩提尊者等人。
Manjushri, Avalokiteshvaras.
意念文殊、意念观音的菩萨。
And also, we are human beings. We like to sort of, we have this habit of, like looking up to looking up to these guys.
而且我们人类呢也有这样的习惯，就是我们会就是去敬仰某些人。
Like if you like boxing, for instance.
比如说，如果你喜欢拳击的话，
just everything to do with the Muhammad Ali, everything to do with him will excite you. You understand? Wow.
那么关于阿里拳王所有的一切呢，都会让你感到兴奋不已，就像那样的情况。
Even the way they enter to the boxing ring will just excite you.
即使是他们走进拳击场的那个方式呢，也会让你兴奋不已。
What do you think? Like, can you imagine Karma Jimba like getting one of those shot? Those boxers. Those boxers. The shot. I think it has a big. I think a letter called Everlast or something like that. Just that. Just imagine that.
你们能想象像卡玛金巴这样的人穿上那种拳击手的短裤吗？那种宽宽松松的短裤，然后上面还有就是持久的这样的字眼的裤子。
Yeah. We like to look up to these guys.
我们会喜欢去敬仰某些人。
And there's a lot of different strange, paradoxical feelings about these things.
而对这些事情呢，我们也有某种非常奇怪、非常矛盾的感受。
Lot of Chinese, they really love Bodhidharma, the Tamil, that guy who first went to, introduce Zen Buddhism.
很多的中国人呢，非常的热爱菩提达摩，就是那个首先介绍禅宗的那位达摩祖师。
I don't know how many of them really want to look like him, though.
但是我不知道这些中国人有多少人真的会想要长得跟他一样。
But they get so excited. They paint about Bodhidharma, his bulging eyes, and all of that. Just something that we look up.
但是他们非常的热爱达摩祖师，他们到处都有达摩祖师的画像，他的眼睛是这样凸出来的。
And then more, on a more sort of practical level, then there's the Sangha, the monks, the nuns, and then the lay practitioners.
那在比较修行的层面呢，就是会有这些修行者作为这些僧众，包括说那些出家的僧人、尼师，以及在家的修行者们。
But here, more importantly, and it is, wait. So just to give you just a general idea, okay? So like in the theory, the recollection of the three jewels sadhana. I mean in the sutra. I'm not talking about the sadhana, actual sutra, the actual recollection sutra.
那只是给大家一个大致的概念，在随念三宝经这部佛经当中，
Okay, so So you will read things like, they enter insightfully, they enter straightforwardly, they enter harmoniously, describing the idea of Sangha.
所以在这部佛经当中，你会听到这样的文字，这些僧众们，他们就是进入非常具有圣观的状态，他们直直的进入，就是中文是直直行，然后他们是进入非常和谐的状态，他们合境行，会有这样子的概念。
Is this Tri Ratna, the recollection of the three jewel, is it available in Chinese? The classic Chinese translation?
Yes, Rinpoche is.
Who translated? Xuanzang?
It's translated, I'm not so sure, a long time ago, yeah.
Okay. So the whole these things really, what I've just told you, they each and every one of them has a lot of deep, vast meaning, I have to say.
那我刚刚讲的这些呢，他们每一点呢，其中都包含了非常广大深邃的意思在其中。我必须跟大家说这一点。
Okay, so for instance, there's this, where should I put it? They enter straightforward. Basically, okay, so there's the truth. Like the impermanence, and there's the truth of the innate Buddha nature. Okay.
Yeah. So, Rinpoche, that one was actually not translated a long time ago. That was translated by Fazun, who translated from Tibetan like 100 years ago.
Okay.
所以在其中呢，像我刚刚讲那些，就包含了以下的真理，包括无常，包括我们内具的一些实相。
Okay, so wait, I keep on losing my sadhana here.
稍等一下。
Okay. So when we are talking about a Sangha, okay, I think the most simple way to understand this is the sort of the path. Okay, so the truth is this. Okay, so we are talking about the simple awareness of the Sangha. Okay, let's go back to that one.
那最容易去理解僧的方式呢，就是它是一种道。那我们回来讲，就是我们之前讲的，我们是要去简单的就是觉知有这个僧。
So defilements are defeatable.
所以这些染垢呢，都是可以被打败的。
They are purifiable.
它们是可以被净化的。
And the Buddha, the innate Buddha is discoverable. There, it is there.
我们本具的佛，我们内在的佛呢，是可以被发掘出来、发现出来的，它一直都在那儿。
Okay, so let's say, even though, okay, I think I'm always going back to my one example that I use it again and again. Even though there is like a washing a dish process, in reality, the dirt that is being washed and the cup are two different things.
那我要回来用我经常在用的这个例子，即使说我们好像有在洗杯子的这样的动作，但是在被洗的这个尘垢呢，跟那个杯子这两者事实上是分开的两个东西。
So this, what do you call it? Because they are two different things, therefore, this sort of seemingly, actually, not seemingly, this act of washing does give you the result of cleaning. You understand?
所以它们事实上是两个东西，因此你在清洗的这个动作呢，确实是可以给你带来就是变得干净这样子的结果。
Yeah. So, because if they are one, then the act, the whole system, the act, the game of purifying, accumulation, all of that doesn't work.
因为假如说它们两者事实上是同一个东西的话，那你的那些去做集资进藏这些行为呢，事实上就不会管用了。
Okay, so that's what is to be remembered, recollected, and to be aware.
那这一点呢，就是大家必须要意念，必须要记得，必须觉知的。
Anyway, this sutra is kind of a big sutra. So.
总之呢，这部佛经呢是非常意义广大的一部佛经。
Okay, so now coming back to sadhana.
那现在回来讲这个仪轨。
Sadhana, loosely translating, it means something like accomplishing, right?
那 Sadhana 这个字呢，大致的翻译就是成就法。
So accomplishing the truth, accomplishing the Buddha within through the system, such as cleaning, acquiring, aspiration, all of that.
那它是让你成就真理，成就你内在的佛。经由的方法呢，经由一种体系，比如说像是去清洁，或者是去取得什么，或者是经由发愿这样不同的系统来做到。
Okay. Now the sadhana practitioners are people like you and me.
而成就法的修持者呢，就是像你我这样的人。
In other words, people who have all kinds of, like values.
换句话说呢，就是有各式各样价值观的人。
All kinds of culture, all kinds of references, all kinds of habit, customs, all kinds of way of relating to the world and to yourself.
那大家有各种各样不同的文化，各种不同的参照点，不同的习惯，不同的风俗，各种就是看待世界和看待自己的方式。
So this is why, because we have this kind of habit, so we in the sadhana, we use this habit as a vehicle, and then of course our end aim is to shrug off, what do you call it, discard all those references, values, and so on and so forth. But in the practice, we use them. I will explain.
那因此呢，因为我们有这种种的这些习性等等的东西，所以在成就法当中呢，我们就是运用这个习惯，这些习惯呢、习性作为某种道途。当然，我们最终的目的呢，是要完全的去除这所有的参照点、习性、价值观等等。但是在仪轨当中，在修持的时候，我们会去利用它们。那这一点我稍后会再讲解。
Okay, so right after the visualization, so right after the refuge and the bodhicitta, there's something called visualizations of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
所以在 皈依和发菩提心之后呢，会有就是要观想诸佛菩萨的部分。
Yeah, as a human being, we like to think of our savior, I don't know, people who we look up to, and we like to think of them. So we are borrowing that habit basically.
那我们作为人类呢，我们会喜欢去思念我们敬仰的人，我们仰赖的人，我们的救主。因此在这里，我们就是去利用这样的一种习惯。
So, and then of course we have, like in our head we think like the lotus is a good thing.
当然，我们还会有其他的一些想法，比如说我们会觉得说莲花是一个好东西，
It's a beautiful thing.
它是一个美丽的东西。
So this is why upon the lotus we want the Buddha sitting.
因此呢，我们就会有这样的景象，就是在莲花上面有佛端坐着。
And we have the dualistic mind of thinking that our teacher, the guide, the savior should be majestic, should be compassionate, should be alive. All of that we use them. Basically we are using all our own way of thinking to accomplish the innate Buddha. Basically that's what I'm saying here.
那我们二元分别的心思当中呢，我们也会想说，我们的导师，我们的救主，他应该是非常庄严、非常慈悲、非常活生生、容光焕发的，所以我们就会运用那所有的一切呢，基本上就是我们自己思维的方式呢，来成就我们内在的佛。
Yeah. And then all his disciples also we think of them. I mean, we think that they're there.
然后当然我们也会想说，他所有的弟子都在那边。
Yeah. And then we use ideas such as invitation.
然后我们会使用像是邀请这样子的概念。
Basically, we ask them to come.
基本上邀请、引请就是请他们前来。
But I've already explained to you, there's a two way to understand. You can visualize the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas actually coming from somewhere, or you can also bank into the idea that the Buddha is within. It's not like from somewhere he or they come and dwell.
那当然，就像之前解释过的，你可以以两种的方式来做这个理解。你可以想说，这些诸佛菩萨真的是从某处前来，但是呢，你也可以想说，事实上他们是你本具的，他们并不是从外面哪里过来的，他们一直都在那里。
And then, of course, asking them to sit. Then we have, few what you call order of offerings.
然后接下来我们会请他们坐下，然后给他们不同的一些供养。
And and then praises, which is something that we human beings do a lot.
然后赞颂他们，这个赞颂也是我们人类经常做的一件事情。
As a human being, what do? We give gifts, or we praise somebody, right? So we are using the human habit here.
我们作为人类，我们会就是有这样的习惯去送人家礼物，去赞颂别人，不是吗？所以我们就是用这些人类的习惯来修持。
And we have a lot of this in many, many different forms through recitation of the praises, and then also offering what we call 7 branch prayers.
那我们有很多不同的形式可以这么做，像是说你念诵礼赞文，或者是说念诵七支供。
And now, actually, the most essential practice or the essential part of the sadhana is taking the bodhisattva vow, basically planting the seed of the Buddhahood within oneself.
那这部成就法当中很重要的一部分呢，就是受菩提心戒、受菩萨戒，就是为你成就内在的佛种下种子。
And once you have done that, Then sort of to enhance our practice, we have also the recitation of the mantra of the Shakyamuni.
那为了强化这样的修持呢，一旦你受戒之后呢，你也会念诵释迦牟尼佛的咒。
Yeah, and this probably is very, very sort of a Vajrayana oriented, so to speak. Because for instance, like in the Theravada tradition, I don't think they do the so-called like chanting the mantra of Shakyamuni.
那这个环节可能是非常受到了金刚乘的影响，因为我想在上座部当中，他们不会去念这个释迦牟尼佛的心咒。
And basically, the foundation of doing the recitation of the mantra of Shakyamuni is really remembering, recollecting, or being aware of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, historical, external, or the truth, the internal.
那这整个基础呢，就是要让你借由念持咒来意念、记得、觉知佛法僧三者，不管是历史上的佛，还是外在的佛，还是你内心的佛，也就是实相。
Yes. And then, of course, towards the end, the dedication.
然后当然最终会要做回向。
Yeah, so this is basically a very brief kind of introduction or summary of the sadhana that has been presented to you. And I heard that there are a lot of people who want to participate this, which is fantastic.
那以上就是对这部成就法的一个很简短的介绍和总结。那我听说很多人都要参加这个修持，这真的是很棒的一件事情。
And please, you know, even if you can't do it every day, at the maybe try to come to the festival of this specific sadhana under the Bodhi tree.
那假如你没有办法每天修这个仪轨的话呢，至少希望你能够就是来菩提树下参加专门修这一部成就法的悉达多节庆。
And beyond that, I have nothing much to say.
那此外呢，我就没有更多要跟大家说的了。
Okay. Is that good, Deepa? Enough?
Yes, Rinpoche, it's very good. Thank you so much. Just one more thing, if we could request you to read the first prayer we will be displaying on the screen, just the first page to start with today. We will be doing the full sadhana now. So.
感谢仁波切今天的开始。那我们现在会念开篇的这个祈愿文，所以大家可以在仪轨里面看到，在第2页。
Okay. So Bella, are you going to translate this also?
We have that in the Chinese sadhana.
Okay. O destroyer of the darkness of ignorance, great compassionate one, the omniscient one, the one who has transcended. O Tathagata, the one who has gone, the one who has arrived, accomplished one, awakened one. Shakyamuni, to you I bow, to you I offer everything, in you I take refuge, ripen me, awaken me, bless me.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Now we will recite the Sutra of the Recollection of the Noble Three Jewels in Sanskrit. You may read along in English.
后来我们会开始意念三宝仪轨的修持。
Namaha Sarva Buddha Bodhisattvebhyaha Buddhanusmriti. इत्यपि बुद्धो भगवान् तथागतो अर्हन् सम्यक् सम्बुद्धो विद्याचरण सम्पन्नः लोकविदनुत्तरः शास्ता देवमनुष्याणां बुद्धो भगवानिति निःस्यन्दः स तथागतः पुण्यानाम् अविप्रणाशः कुशलमूलानाम् अलङ्कृतः क्षाद्या आलयः पुण्यनिधानानां चित्रितो अनुव्यञ्जनैः कुसुमितो लक्षणैः प्रतिरूपो गोचरेण अप्रतिकूलो दर्शनेन अभिरतिः श्रद्धाधिमुक्तानाम् अनभिभूतः प्रज्ञया अनवमर्दनीयो बलैः शास्ता सर्वसत्त्वानां पिता बोधिसत्त्वानां राजार्यपुद्गलानां सार्थवाहः निर्वाणनगरसम्प्रस्थितानाम् अप्रमेयो ज्ञानेन अचिन्त्यः प्रतिभानेन विशुद्धः स्वरेण आस्वादनीयो घोषेण असेचनको रूपेण अप्रतिसमः कायेन अलिप्तः कामैः अनुपलिप्तो रूपैः असंसृष्ट आरूप्यैः विप्रमुक्तः स्कन्धेभ्यः विसंप्रयुक्तो धातुभिः संवृत् आयतनैः प्रच्छिन्नो ग्रन्थैः विमुक्तः परिदाग्नैः परिमुक्तस्तृष्णया ओघादुत्तीर्णः परिपूर्णो ज्ञानेन प्रतिष्ठितो अतीतानागतप्रत्युत्पन्नानां बुद्धानां भगवतां ज्ञाने अप्रतिष्ठितो निर्वाणे स्थितो भूतकोट्यां स्थितः सर्वसत्त्वालोकनीयायां भूमौ सर्व इमे तथागतानां विशेषतः सम्यक् गुणाः धर्मानुस्मृतिः सद्धर्मस्तु आदौ कल्याणः मध्ये कल्याणः पर्यवसाने कल्याणः स्वार्थः सुव्यञ्जनः केवलः परिपूर्णः परिशुद्धः पर्यवदातः स्वाख्यातः भगवतो धर्मः सान्दृष्टिकः निर्ज्वरः आकालिकः औपनायिकः एहिपश्यिकः प्रत्यात्मवेदनीयो विघ्नैः स्वाख्यातो भगवतो धर्मविनयः सुप्रवेदितः नैर्याणिकः सम्बोधिगामी अभिन्नः संस्तूपः सम्प्रतिशरणः छिन्नप्लोतिकः संघानुस्मृतिः सुप्रतिपन्नो भगवत् आर्यसङ्गः न्यायप्रतिपन्नः रजुप्रतिपन्नः सामीची प्रतिपन्नः अञ्जलिकरणीयः सामीचीकरणीयः पुण्यश्रीक्षेत्रः महादक्षिणापरिशोधकः प्राहवनीयः आहवनीयः
taking refuge. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Dutiyampi Sangham Sharanam Gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Tatiyampi Sangham Sharanam Gacchami.
I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. For a second time I take refuge in the Buddha, for a second time I take refuge in the Dharma, for a second time I take refuge in the Sangha, for a third time I take refuge in the Buddha, for a third time I take refuge in the Dharma, for a third time I take refuge in the Sangha.
Bodhicitta. Yatha gruhitam sugatair bodhicittam puratanaihi tattvadutpadayamesha bodhicittam jagadhite.
Just as the Sugatas of the past gave birth to the awakened mind, like them for every being's sake, I arouse the same awakened mind. Just as the Sugatas of the past gave birth to the awakened mind, like them for every being's sake, I arouse the same awakened mind. In front is a lotus, fresh, brilliant, and stainless, upon which the radiant Buddha is sitting, life-sized, majestic, alive and compassionate, uninhibited, beautiful, fearless, and loving. The Buddha is surrounded by all his disciples, the assembly of all the Bodhisattvas, Manjushri, Aryadhara, Saraswati, and also Avalokiteshvara. The grouping of arhats, including Ananda, Shariputra, Kasyapa, and Maudgalyayana, and his heavenly students like Vayu and Agni, Vishnu, Kali, Shiva, and Indra. Protectors of beings without one exception, you see the true nature of things as they are. You conquered the forces and armies of Mara. Please come to this place with your retinue now. Enlightened ones, welcome, you have arrived. To meet you, we have such great merit and fortune. Accept all our offerings, direct your awareness towards this assembly, and forever remain.
Om Padma Kamalaye Om Vajra Argham Ahum Om Vajra Padyam Ahum Atipuho Pratichaho.
To these vast oceans of all precious qualities, billowing clouds of melodious harmonies, ascend unceasingly and with great certainty, we offer oceans of our songs of praise.
With skillful means and compassion you were born into the Shakya clan, your physical form, resplendent like mountains of gold, and the hordes of Maras you conquered. To you I bow down. At first you gave rise to the awakened mind, then merit and wisdom you complete in kind. Your actions are so vast and meant for this age, protector of beings, to you we give praise. Then after you taught the gods, you knew the time to descend from heaven and teach humankind. You came like a great elephant you could see in Maya Devi's womb, the right family. Homage to you. Then after 10 months in Lumbini Grove born, great Brahma and Indra revered you, your form is marked with supreme signs, Prince Shakyamuni, your final awakenings destined to be. Homage to you at Angamagada at the sporting games. O lion of men, the proud beings you tamed, with your youthful vigor you reach victory, displaying your prowess with no rivalry. Homage to you, avoiding all misdeeds, you took on a queen, surrounded by courtiers with these skillful means, in order to harmonize with worldly ways. You governed your kingdom, to you I will pray. Homage to you. Then seeing samsara as futility, renouncing your household, you traveled the sky. In front of the stupa of great purity, you gave yourself vows and renounced worldly life. Homage to you. Persisting until Buddhahood was your aim. For 6 years and you practiced on the river's banks, enduring you perfected austerities, and then you obtained the supreme samadhi. Homage to you in Magadha underneath the Bodhi tree, in order to give all your efforts meaning. In the Vajra posture you sat unmoving, to Buddhahood you awakened completely. Homage to you, you gazed with compassion upon sentient beings, then in sacred places like Varanasi, you started to turn the wheel of the Dharma, establishing students in the three yanas. Homage to you. Malicious opponents you fully destroy, like Devadatta and the six Tirthakas, against all the Maras in Varanasi. O great sage, in battle you claim victory. Homage to you. In Shravasti you performed great miracles, in the three realms unmatched in their great splendor. Gods, humans, and all beings made offerings to cause the increase and spread of your teachings. Homage to you, in order to turn the slothful to Dharma, within the pure land of Kushinagara. Though your body's deathless just like a Vajra, you left it and passed to Parinirvana. Homage to you, to show that your true nature can't be destroyed. You emanated a great wealth of relics, which then were divided into 8 portions, so that future beings could gain great merit. Homage to you, by merit of praising all these noble deeds, the acts of the victor, master of teachings. May all beings' actions be full of virtue, just like the Sugatas and equal to you. May all of our forms and our longevity, our entourage pure and sublime qualities, and all of our marts of enlightenment too, become perfected exactly be like you. And through the power of this praise and this prayer, in all of the lands where we're living, may there be no illness and our conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld. I bow to where the perfect Buddhas are born, and wherever they attain enlightenment and turn the great wheel of the peaceful Dharma, and where they pass into parinirvana. I bow where the Sugatas walk, stand, and dwell, the holy places where like lions they sleep, places intermediate and cardinal, above and below, all places in between. I bow down to you, O victorious ones, possessing all the 32 supreme marks. I bow to each stupa where you've come and gone. Great homage I pay them with and without form.
Seven branch prayer. सर्वक्षेत्राणु सङ्ख्यैश्च प्रणामैः प्रणमाम्यहम् सर्वत्र बुद्धान् सहधर्म गणोत्तमान्.
To all of the Buddhas of the 3 times, the Dharma and the assembly sublime, I prostrate with as many bodies as are dust grains that exist upon the earth.
मञ्जुघोष प्रभृतयः पूजयन्ति यथा जिनान् तथा तथागतान् नाथान् सपुत्रान् पूजयाम्यहम्.
Just as Manju Gosha and those like him make offerings to all the conquerors, I likewise offer to our protectors, the Buddhas and their Bodhisattva heirs.
मया बालेन मूढेन यत्किञ्चित् पापमाचितं प्रकृत्याय च सावद्यं प्रज्ञप्त्यावद्यमेव च तत्सर्वं देशयाम्येष नाथानां कृतः स्थितः कृताञ्जलिर्दुःखभीतः प्रणिपत्य पुनः पुनः अत्ययम् अत्ययत्वेन प्रतिगृह्णन्तु नायकाः न भद्रकमिदं नाथ न कर्तव्यं पुनर्मया.
And so all of the harmful deeds I've done, in darkness blinded by my ignorance, or any fault of breaking any vow, and any action harmful by nature, mindful of any suffering to come, I join my palms and ceaselessly prostrate, and directly in the Buddha's presence, all of my harms I openly reveal. I pray to you, world guides and guardians, to take me as I am with all my faults. And all these actions, harmful as they are, I promise I will never do again.
अपाय दुःखः विश्रामं सर्वसत्त्वैकृतं शुभम् अनुमोदे प्रमोदेन सुखं तिष्ठन्तु दुःखिताः संसारदुःखनिर्मोक्षम् अनुमोदे शरीरिणां बोधिसत्त्वत्वबुधत्व अनुमोदे च तायिनाम् चित्तोत्पादसमुद्राश सर्वसत्त्वसुखावहान् सर्वसत्त्वहिताधानान् अनुमोदे च शासिनाम्.
with joy I celebrate the virtue that relieves all beings from sorrows of loss. And even those who still are suffering, I exalt in all of their joyful states. I revel in all the stores of virtue that cause us to gain the enlightened state, and celebrate the freedoms that are won by living beings from the round of pain. Rejoicing in protectors' Buddhahood and in the bhumis of the Buddha's heirs, their bodhicitta ocean of great good that seeks to place all beings in a state of bliss and all actions for others' sake. I rejoice and delight in all of them.
सर्वासु दिक्षु सम्बुद्धान् प्रार्थयामि कृताञ्जलिः धर्मप्रदीपं कुर्वन्तु मोहादुःखप्रपातिनाम्.
And so I will join hands and pray to all the Buddhas who reside in every place. Please kindle now the Dharma's light for those who grope bewildered in the dark of pain.
निर्वातु कामाशजिनान् याचयामि कृताञ्जलिः कल्पानन्तास्तिष्ठन्तु मा भूदन्तमिदं जगत्.
I join my hands beseeching all of the enlightened ones who wish to pass into nirvana. Do not leave us wandering in blindness. Stay among us for all time.
एवं सर्वमिदं कृत्वा यन्मया साधितं शुभं तेन स्यां सर्वसत्त्वानां सर्वदुःखप्रशान्तिकृत्.
Through all these actions I have now performed, and all the virtues that I have now gained, may all the pain of every living being be wholly scattered and fully destroyed.
Receiving the Bodhisattva vow. यथा गृहीतं सुगतैर् बोधिचित्तं पुरातनैः ते बोधिसत्त्वशिक्षायामानुपूर्व्या यथा स्थितः तद्वदुत्पादयामेष बोधिचित्तं जगद्धिते तद्वदेव च ताः शिक्षाः शिष्यिष्यामि यथा क्रमम्.
Just as the Sugatas of the past gave birth to the bodhicitta and trained in all the stages of the bodhisattva's disciplines, like them for every being's sake, I arouse this same bodhicitta, and in the precepts, step by step, I will abide and train myself. Just as Sugatas of the past gave birth to the bodhicitta and trained in all the stages of the bodhisattva's disciplines, like them for every being's sake, I arouse the same bodhicitta, and in the precepts, step by step, I will abide and train myself.
Rejoicing for oneself. To those who thus with clear intelligence take hold of the awakened mind with joy, that they may now increase what they have gained, should leave their hearts with praises such as these. Today my life has finally given fruit. This human state has now been well assumed. Today I take my birth in Buddha's line and have become the Buddha's child and heir. In every way then I will undertake activities befitting such a rank, and I will never do an act to mar or compromise this faultless lineage, for I am like a blind one who has found a precious gem inside a heap of dust. For so it is by some peculiar chance that bodhicitta has been born in me. This is the supreme draught of deathlessness that slays the Lord of Death, killer of beings, the bountiful, unfailing treasure mine that heals the poverty of wanderers. It is the only sovereign remedy that perfectly allays all maladies. It is the tree that gives relief to those who in existence wander wearily. It is the universal bridge that saves wandering beings from the states of loss, the rising moon of the enlightened mind that soothes the sorrows born of klesha mind, the mighty sun that utterly dispels the misty ignorance of wanderers, the butter and the cream, so rich and full, that has been turned from the milk of Dharma. O beings, wayfarers upon life's paths, who wish to taste riches of contentment, now here before you is the supreme bliss. Here, ceaseless travelers, is your fulfillment. Rejoicing for others. And so today within the sight of all protectors I will summon beings, calling all of them to Buddhahood. And so until that state is reached to every earthly joy, may all the gods and demigods and all the rest rejoice.
Recitation practice. Gaze at Siddhartha, who is in front of you. Now gently rest your mind on his lotus seat. Luminous light rays stream forth from the lotus and dissolve into you, increasing your lifespan, merit, wealth, and power. Lights radiating from the lotus soothe all your disease, and your wishes are swiftly fulfilled. Unceasing light rays shine in every direction and pervade all sentient beings, pacifying their pain and causes of suffering. The light illuminates our Buddha nature, and like a pristine lotus flowering in the mud, it is flawlessly revealed.
Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami Tadyatha Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha 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 Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha.
Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Svaha. 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 May all of our forms and our longevity, our entourage pure and sublime qualities, and all of our signs of enlightenment to
be fully perfected exactly like you. And through the power of this praise and this prayer, in all the lands where we dwelling, may there be no illness and all conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld. Gaze at the Tathagata in front of you. Now gently rest your mind on his Vajra posture. Luminous light rays stream forth from the crossed legs of the Vajrasana and dissolve into you, empowering you to realize the union of appearance and emptiness. Lights radiating from the asana free you and all sentient beings from discrimination of good and bad, beautiful and ugly, clean and dirty, and all prejudice.
Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Srijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Srijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Srijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Tadyatha Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha 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 Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha.
Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Svaha. 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 The whole of our forms and our longevity, our entourage pure and sublime qualities, and all of our signs of enlightenment to be fully perfected exactly like you. And through the power of this praise and this prayer, in all the lands where we dwell in, may there be no illness and all conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld. Gaze at the Sugata in front of you. Now gently rest your mind on his left hand in the mudra of equanimity. Luminous light rays stream forth from his left hand and dissolve into you, purifying afflictive emotions, anxiety, depression, loneliness, and lethargy. Lights radiating from his left hand make your mind and the mind of all beings flexible by perfecting shamatha. Unceasing light rays shine in every direction and make you and all sentient beings see the truth by perfecting vipassana.
Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Tadyatha Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha 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 Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha.
Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. May all of our forms and our longevity, our entourage, pure and sublime qualities, and all of our signs of enlightenment to be fully perfected exactly like you, and through the power of this praise and this prayer, in all the lands where we dwelling, may there be no illness and no conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld.
Gaze at Mahamuni in front of you. Now gently rest your mind on his right hand in the mudra of Bhumisparsha. Luminous light rays stream forth from his right hand and banish your hypocrisy and fear. Unceasing light rays shine in every direction and increase integrity, courage, and fearlessness in you and all sentient beings.
Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Jagacchami Tadyatha Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha 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 Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha.
Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. May all of our forms and our longevity, our entourage, pure and sublime qualities, and all of our signs of enlightenment to be fully perfected exactly like you. And through the power of this praise and this prayer, in all the lands where we dwelling, may there be no illness and all conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld. Gaze at Shakyasimha in front of you. Now gently rest your mind on his golden complexion. Luminous light rays stream forth from his golden complexion and dissolve your laziness, alienation, melancholy, low moral, insecurity, and procrastination. Unceasing light rays shine in every direction and increase inspiration, confidence, originality, and authenticity in you and all sentient beings.
Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami. Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami. Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami. Tadyatha Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha. 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 Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha.
Om. 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 Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. 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 May all of our forms and our longevity, our entourage, pure and sublime qualities, and all of our signs of enlightenment to be fully perfected exactly like you. And through the power of this praise and this prayer, In all the lands where we dwelling, may there be no illness and all conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld.
Gaze at Shakyamuni in front of you. Now gently rest your mind on his face. Luminous light rays stream forth from his face and dispel miscommunication, misunderstanding, and inhibition. Unceasing light rays shine in every direction and increase the ability of you and all sentient beings to inspire others and generates wisdom and compassion.
Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami Tadyatha Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha 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 Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha.
Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Svaha. 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 May all of our forms and our longevity, our entourage, pure and sublime qualities, and all of our signs of enlightenment to be fully perfected exactly like you. And through the power of this praise and the spread in all the lands where we dwelling, may there be no illness and all conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld.
Gaze at the lion among men, the supreme bull, the king of those who walk on two legs, the fourth liberator, the teacher of gods. Now gently rest your mind on his urna and crown of his head. Luminous rays of light stream forth from his urna and crown of his head and dissolve the veils that hindered you from seeing yourself and all beings as the Buddha.
Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam Tathagatam Arhantam Samyak Sambuddham Shrijinam Shakyamunim Namami Pujayami Sharanam Chagachami Gurum Shastaram Bhagavantam तथागतम् अर्हन्तं सम्यक् सम्बुद्धं श्रीजिनं शाक्यमुनिं नमामि पूजयामि शरणं च गच्छामि गुरुं शास्तारं भगवन्तं तथागतम् अर्हन्तं सम्यक् सम्बुद्धं श्रीजिनं शाक्यमुनिं नमामि पूजयामि शरणं च गच्छामि तद्यथा ॐ मुने मुने महामुनये स्वाहा 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 ॐ मुने मुने महामुनये स्वाहा
Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Svaha. 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 May all of our forms and our longevity, our entourage, pure and sublime qualities, and all of our signs of enlightenment to be fully perfected exactly like you. And through the power of this praise and this prayer, in all the lands where we dwell, may there be no illness and all conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld. Gaze at the entire perfect form of our spiritual friend, our protector, our object of refuge. Now gently rest your mind on the Buddha. Luminous rays of light emanating from the Buddha radiate in every direction.
गुरुं शास्तारं भगवन्तं तथागतम् अर्हन्तं सम्यक् सम्बुद्धं श्रीजिनं शाक्यमुनिं नमामि पूजयामि शरणं च गच्छामि गुरुं शास्तारं भगवन्तं तथागतम् अर्हन्तं सम्यक् सम्बुद्धं श्रीजिनं शाक्यमुनिं नमामि पूजयामि शरणं च गच्छामि गुरुं शास्तारं भगवन्तं तथागतम् अर्हन्तं सम्यक् सम्बुद्धं श्रीजिनं शाक्यमुनिं नमामि पूजयामि शरणं च गच्छामि तद्यथा ॐ मुने मुने महामुनये स्वाहा 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 Om Mune Mune Mahamunaye Swaha.
Om Muni Muni Mahamunaye Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaye Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaye Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaye Swaha. May all of our forms and our longevity, our entourage pure and sublime qualities, and all of our signs of enlightenment to be fully perfected exactly like you. And through the power of this praise and this prayer, in all the lands where we dwelling, may there be no illness and all conflicts be dispelled. May good fortune spread and Dharma be upheld.
Meditation. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami.
See the Buddha Shakyamuni surrounded by all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. He and his retinue melt into light and become a ball of light. The light slowly dissolves into you, and immediately you and Shakyamuni become inseparable. Without becoming distracted, remain in that state for a few minutes and meditate. Dedication. By all the virtues that I have amassed through this Tri Ratna Anusmṛiti Sādhanā, may all beings be deeply inspired and tread the path to complete Buddhahood. May those who go in dread have no more fear. May captives be unchained and now set free. And also may the weak receive their strength. May beings help each other in kindness. May every being ailing with disease be freed at once from every malady. May all sickness that afflicts the living be now forever absent from the world. May all the travelers upon the road find happiness no matter where they go, and may they gain without the need of toil all the goals on which they set their hearts. We practitioners pray together that may kindly spirits bring the rains on time. May all harvests be rich and plentiful. May princes rule according to Dharma. May all the world with great riches be blessed. May all the medicines be full of strength. May mantras powerfully resound through space. May spirits of the air that feed on flesh be kind and their minds with pity imbued, and thus by all the merit I have gained, may every being leaving none aside, abandon each and every evil way, embracing goodness now and evermore. From bodhicitta may they never part, may they engage in bodhisattva acts. May Buddhas accept them as disciples. May they draw back from what is demons' work. Om. Whenever I desire to gaze on you, or put to you the slightest question too, may I behold with unobstructed sight my own protector Siddhartha Gautama, Buddha Tathagata Shakyamuni.
Prayer for the longevity of Buddha's teaching. To the Buddha Vipashinandra Kuchandra seeking to Kashyapa Kanaka Muni and the Buddha Vishvambhu and Gautama Shakyamuni, deity of deities. To the 7 warrior Buddhas I pay homage, I bow down. In the past for being's sake I bore all kinds of hardship and gave up all my happiness. Through this may all my teachings blaze. In the past for sickly beings I completely gave my life to protect the poor and helpless. May all of my teachings blaze long into the future. Sons and daughters, wives and wealth and chariots and elephants, I renounce for precious treasure of complete enlightenment. May all of my teachings blaze long into the future. Through all of the offerings I made to Buddhas, Pratyakas, male and female Shravakas, all of the great sages too. May my teachings blaze forever, long into the future. Through the suffering I endured for many millions of eons, seeking instructions for the sake of complete enlightenment. May my teachings blaze forever, long into the future. By my ages long discipline and my renunciation, and my offerings to the Buddhas of all 10 directions, may my teachings blaze forever, long into the future. Through my diligence in the past and constant stability, overcoming all disruptions to liberate all beings, may my teachings blaze with glory long into the future. Through constant practice of patience with beings defiled acts caused by defilements of pleasure, patiently forbearing them, may my teachings blaze with strength for long into the future. Through my meditation freedoms and through formless absorptions, through samadhis countless as the sand grains on the Ganges banks, may my teachings blaze with strength for long into the future. In the past, through seeking wisdom, practicing austerities, in the forest teaching shastras to many countless beings, may my teachings blaze with power long into the future. Through giving my flesh and blood and giving my love out of love, giving away all my limbs and every part of my body, may the way of Dharma flourish and expand completely. In the past, with loving kindness, harmful beings I matured, and I led them to the practice of the true free vehicles. Through this may the gift of Dharma thrive and grow forevermore. In the past, with skillful means and wisdom, I led sentient beings away from their confusion to the completely correct view. By this may my Dharma spread and fully flourish completely, by attracting my disciples through the four means I released them from the flames of emotion, vanquish negativity. Through this may my followers stay long into the future.
I freed 30,000 others from the rivers of their views, leading them to the correct view. Through this may my followers always have perfect devotion. May all of my teachings blaze long into the future.
Jaya Mangala Gatha. Baham sahasam abhinimita sayudhantam girimekhalam mudita ghorasasena danadidhamma vidhina jitva munindo tam tejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani ukhitta khaggamatihatha sudarunantam dhavanti yojanapatham gulimalavantam idhibhisankhatmano jitva munindo tam tejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani katvana katthamudaram iva gabhiniya chinchaya dutthavachanam janakaya majje santena soma vidhina jitva munindo tam tejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani Satcham vihaya mati satchaka vadaketum vadabhiropitamanam atiyandabhutam panyapadipajalito jitva munindo tam tejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani Nandopananda bhujagam vibuddham mahethim puttena thera bhujagena damapayanto idhupadesa vidhina jitva munindo tam tejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani Duggaha bhujagena sudattahatham brahmam visuddhi jutimithi bakabhidhanam jnanagadena vidhina jitva munindo tam tejasa bhavatu te jaya mangalani Etapi buddha jaya mangala atthagatha yo vachako dina dine sarate matandi hitvananeka vividhani chupathyavani mokham sukham adhigameya naro sapanyo. Dulpapa's prayer. May I, in each and every lifetime, bear the weight of Buddha Dharma, and if I cannot, may I at least fear its decline.
May I, in each and every lifetime, bear the weight of Buddha Dharma, and if I cannot, may I at least fear its decline.
May I, in each and every lifetime, bear the wave of Buddha Dharma. And if I cannot, may I at least fear its decline.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you, everyone.
感谢仁波
Thank you
切，
very
感
much,
谢
Romrata.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you so
team.
much.
Buddy, thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, team.
Rinpoche.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you,
Rinpoche.
everyone.
Obrigado from
Thank you,
Portugal.
Rinpoche.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Romrata.
Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Rinpoche.
Yeah.
Thank you.
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 Very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Rinpoche.
Thank you, everyone.
我也下去了。
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you. Thank you.